not to think that there are any long shot candidates. If they got our values and they're willing to work, let's get behind them, right? Let's get behind them, right? And if the times get hard and the legislature gets legislating, as I used to call us all the time, do not be discouraged. Get involved. Make the phone call. Show up. Talk to people in your circles about it. Too oftentimes we talk about it in rooms like this, but we're too afraid to talk about it in places where maybe we feel like we should not. And so I ask you in those times, does the education of kids matter? Does it matter? Does tribal sovereignty matter? Does it matter? Does public safety matter? Does homelessness matter? Do all these issues matter? Because that's the only question you have to ask yourself. Is it worth it putting your political capital on the line to talk about things that matter? If those things matter, you have to matter every single day. And there shouldn't be any time where you sit it out. Not saying you got to piss everybody off. Sometimes you got to do that. But I'm telling you right now, people will receive it a lot different than you think. What people need to know in this country, what we need to know about each other, how we find our way back to each other, is that we remind each other that the things matter and why they matter. And if there's anything I can leave with the folks in this convention hall right now, is that at one point we had founders who put together some perfect documents for an imperfect country. Ever since that, we've been trying to work toward it. And so what we are left with right now, again, at that watershed moment, is our opportunity to do our part to perfect this country since we have those perfect documents, right? And so today is all about getting closer and closer and closer to delivering on the promise of a free country, understanding that freedom is based on the obligation of all of us to get involved and do what we have to do to make sure that this generation of Americans, this generation of Oklahomans, this generation of folks who live in CD2 are going to ensure that it is the best it possibly can for those that come behind it. And that means that everything that we have on paper right now has to matter, if nowhere else right here. Right here. Leonard McCain, he's a jurist. He, on American Day in 1944, talked about the Constitution and our laws being words on paper, essentially. He said that if it does not live in the hearts of those in this country, essentially it don't matter. But if it does, if it lives right here, we no longer need a constitution or laws or anything like that because it's right here. It's in our DNA. Remember who you are, CD2. Remember those values. Remember what's in your DNA as Oklahomans. We have always been the state to fight for what is right. We've lost that. We've lost it. But it's time to get it back. Yes, sir. It is time to get it back. I am so glad to be part of this really big Democratic family with you. Now it's time to grow. Now it's time to grow. And I know we will. And anything that I can do for anybody in here along that track, I'm going to do it. Why am I going to do it? Because I care about the things I talk about. When I was campaigning for mayor, I talked about things that matter. What's going to happen here is we're going to talk about things that matter. It's not just about winning losses in a campaign. But if we think about what this state has done,